If you eat very early in the evening and then take about 3 hours before you go to bed, you will get very good sleep and you feel comfortable. Supposing you gorge a lot of food, let us say there's a conference and it ends at 10 o'clock, it usually runs behind time, most conferences do, and then you go and eat, there's a lot of food because it's Taj Vivanta and the food is good and the chicken is very nice, so you eat a lot, then go home, you feel discomfort, then you lie down, you don't get sleep. And even if you do get sleep, it's not a comfortable sleep. Whereas you eat very early, like the Jains, before the sun sets, and then sleep after 10 o'clock, you get sound sleep without any problem whatsoever. So, your own body tells you what is good and what is bad, instead of the doctor telling you what is good and what is bad. Now, don't overeat, number one. Number two, do not eat when you are not hungry. In nature, no animal eats when it is not hungry, except man. Because you are told in school, you must have a breakfast at 8 o'clock, and lunch at 1 o'clock, and evening tea at 4 o'clock, otherwise tea break is all broken. Then you have evening dinner. No, you feel hungry, eat, whatever time it is. And whatever meal you want to call it, doesn't matter. But eat. But don't eat when you are not hungry. And after you eat, don't gorge very fast. Now, I like that man saying 2 minutes for breakfast is bad, because even if you wait 2 minutes, you eat a lot of breakfast, your brain doesn't get the message, because it takes about 45 minutes for the message to go from the stomach to the brain saying that, well, I am full now, I don't want any more food. So if you eat gradually, slowly, yes sir? If you eat gradually and slowly, your stomach will tell your brain, now look, this is enough, we don't want any more. Or the stomach will tell, we want more, and it's not enough. So you do it slowly, take your own time, and then eat in comfort. Now what you eat is not important. This is very important. What you eat is least important. You can eat anything you like. A lot of people are there, they sit and say, does it contain cholesterol? Does it contain fat? Is it oil? Is it oily? It's oil filled, it's deep fried. Why are you worried? Irrespective of what it is, do you like it? Eat it. But don't overeat it. And eat it less than what you think you should eat. And that's the principle for food. And I'm not going to tell you what diet to take. Now, if I were to tell you something, I would be happy if you are a vegetarian. Because we are physiologically vegetarians. Look at our teeth. Look at our gut, which is about 29 feet. Meat-eating animal like even a ferocious lion is only about 8 feet gut. So whatever it eats now will go out in 4 hours time. Whatever you eat today, it will go out either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So it will remain inside. And second thing is, meat-eating animals do not eat cooked meat. Only man eats cooked meat. Cooked meat is poison. When meat is cooked, the chemicals change and the amino acids fuse. And cooked meat is not a diet at all. I don't know why we eat cooked meat at all. A lot of people think if you don't eat meat, you don't get protein. I tell them, you come and see our elephants in the temples. They don't eat meat at all. They eat only leaves. And if you can fight an elephant and win, then I think meat eating is better. And very interestingly, when you eat vegetables, you feel very comfortable. You are not very ferocious also. When you eat meat, you are very ferocious. You want to feel like fighting with someone. But the vegetarian food will give you, the sattvic diet will give you tranquility of mind, which is a very important part. Now then, what about exercise? A lot of people think early morning you must get up, put on a trouser and run. Jog, they say. Jogging is very, very bad for health. Jogging is very, very bad. Did I say that? Shall I repeat that? You should not jog, because jogging will destroy your ankle joint, jogging will destroy your knee joint, and jogging is not good for the heart also. But walking is good. Man is meant to walk. And we are two-legged animals, so we should only walk. Four-legged animals like dogs can run. When you are four-legged, you have your center of gravity inside your base. When you have two legs, when you run, your center of gravity falls out each time, and that's balanced by your knee. So if you are a mile runner, at the end of the day, you will probably have, when you grow a little older, your knee joints are so bad that you can't walk. And we see a lot of these women who put on a lot of weight, they can't walk because their knee joints are very, very bad. So you must try to sort of walk every day. Walking is very good. Next is cycling is good. The third is swimming is good. But you don't try to start learning swimming at the age of 40. If you know swimming and if you are good at swimming, swimming is a very good exercise. If you are not good at swimming, don't try to learn swimming at the age of 40 because you will drown in the water. Then the next best thing is exercise what time of the day? Preferably on empty stomach when you don't have too much of food. But do not exercise on full stomach at all because it will load the heart very heavily. That's why a full meal is called a hearty meal. Have you heard of that? It's a hearty meal. Why do they call it a hearty meal? The one part of the body which a food, when you overeat and touches, is the heart. Each time you eat a big meal, the heart has to supply so much of blood to the gut that the heart overworks. So having a big meal is like running a mile. It's almost as much as that. And then if you overexert on that, like for example, there are a lot of people who say, I will walk after meal. No, never do that. Walk before a meal and then eat. After meal, after walk, you just sit for a little while, relax, and then have a meal. So don't eat it first. Now, third thing is, what about your relaxation? What is relaxation? Whatever is good for you, it's good relaxation. Somebody said, do you enjoy music? Yes, I do. But I don't die for music. So if you love music, go ahead. Music will give you relaxation. If you love playing cards, go ahead. It will give you relaxation. If you love talking to people, go ahead, do it. But very interesting thing happened. Recently they did a study, like the study in Ayurveda for what's called observational research. Thousands of years you observe a group of people. Unlike what we do in medicine called cross-sectional research, we take about 100 people, study them in 2 groups, and then come to conclusions immediately. So one day you say coffee is good, next day you say coffee is bad. Third day this scientific study says tea is good, and the fourth day the study says tea is very bad for health. So all these are because the study is wrong. Now this is a very interesting study that's going on, and it's almost complete now. This is called the Harvard alumni study. Those who joined the Harvard University in 1930s and who are still alive, many of them have died, 90 years they have died. So if they are alive, they are being followed up. If they are dead also, they are being followed up to find out how they died. 3 important things came out in this study. Mark my words now. Remember this very clearly. 3 things came out. A, drinking alcohol is very bad for health. Drinking alcohol is very bad for health. I am repeating it second time. Because a lot of doctors tell you, drink a little couple of pecks of wine, red wine, it is good for your heart. Absolute myth. There's nothing. Even a drop of alcohol is not good for health. I am not saying a drop of alcohol is bad for health, but there is no evidence to say that even a drop of alcohol is good for health. Alcohol is not good for health at all. Alcohol damages the liver, of course, first. Alcohol damages the heart irreparably. There's what's called alcoholic cardiomyopathy, which is a very dangerous disease. Man drops down dead. But that cannot be corrected at all. There's no treatment for that. And then alcohol is bad. 2, tobacco is an enemy number 1. 3, having friends, relations, and happiness, and the more number of friends and relations you are happy with, longer you live, healthier you live, happier you live. So only 3 things. A, don't drink alcohol. B, don't smoke. 3, have lot of friends. Talk to them daily. Make them happy. Make another person happy. You will be happy. How to be happy? Christina, an American poet, has said, if love is what you give away, love is what comes back each day like a mirror. So if happiness is what you give away, happiness is what comes back each day. Supposing I give a lot of happiness to Shah Sahab, happiness will come to me from someone else. Shah Sahab will be happy because of me, but I will be happy because of someone else. Gratitude is the biggest thing. That's the Indian philosophy also says that. Sorry, this is the Delhi weather. The throat gets, slightly inflamed in the weather. Cold air goes in. And the cold air should not go into the throat. The cold air should enter the nose. By the time it comes to the throat, it must be 97 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit. But here what happens, the Delhi weather, sometimes the cold is so cold that the air comes to the throat also cold. And then it's bad. And also the Eustachian tube. The cold enters through the external ear and goes and hits the outer part of the eardrum, and the whole middle ear gets inflamed. And that changes your voice, gives you this little hacking cough. Number 3. So 3 things came out in this study. 3 things. A study of 90 years. No study has been done in. Now we say, oh, diabetes is bad, hypertension is bad, your blood pressure is bad. We frighten people, right? But is it true? MRFIT study is a large study which studied for 25 years. Multiple risk factor intervention trial. We showed that there are no risk factors at all. Even if there are risk factors, even if you control them, the risk, if there is any, is not controlled. Supposing, let us say, blood pressure is bad. Let us say blood pressure is bad. I am not saying blood pressure is bad. If you control the blood pressure with drugs, the badness, the whatever bad thing you think, will not go away. That will remain. The blood pressure, of course, might be, the record may be good. Diabetes is bad. Your readings may be, every day you go to the doctor and take a reading, because you are almost obsessed about it. It may be true, but if diabetes does something else, which is as a consequence of diabetes, that consequence will remain. So the MRFIT study showed, I quote again, there are no risk factors, full stop. The so-called risk factors can be controlled very easily with drugs or intervention, but the risk is not ever removed completely. Now, second thing is, see, nature evolves, and we were like the snake. Let us say we evolved from the snake. From the monkeys, then we came up. In the snake, there is no coronary circulation at all, so the snake doesn't get a heart attack. Why did nature give us a coronary circulation to give heart attack? Probably we needed it. So now we have a special circulation for the heart itself called coronary circulation. There are vessels. Now this is a big business for us. Now we can always, when you go somewhere and say chest, or you go for a complete checkup, they first make you run on a treadmill. That's called GTT. You know, not GTT. That's called TMT. They make you run on that. And then see the ECG. When you're running, the ECG usually is either up or down. So it doesn't really mean much. But they say it's borderline positive. Then they'll say we'll do an angiogram. Absolutely no idea, because angiogram is not a diagnostic test of anything. Because even school-going children, if you do an angiogram, they will have blocks. But when once you are doing an angiogram, they see a block and then frighten you and say, look, you have a block in this vessel. So I can't even let you go home. You must have an operation right now, or you must have a stunt. I call it a stunt, not stent. Right now. Then you say, why doctor, I have to go home and come. No, I can't assure you. You may go home, but I can't assure you that you will come back alive. But I'll tell you one very simple method to get out of that. You simply tell them, doctor, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. I'll get some money and then come back. They won't touch you. Then they'll say, don't worry, you can get some medicines, it's all right. But otherwise they'll say, okay, he's from EMA, then 10 lakhs is nothing, so I must bakrafy him and get him and then do an angiogram and do it. Because how many people in India can afford 10 lakhs? And they frighten the wives first. They say, look, your husband's condition is very, very bad. Then she'll say, okay, I'll sell my Mangal Sutra and also get an angiogram done. So angiograms are done left, right and center for people. A lot of people send me an angiogram and say, now tell me what's to be done. So I tell them, I don't know what to do for the angiogram, but I know what to do for your father or mother, but I must examine them first. You see, today clinical medicine has died. You go to the doctor, nobody examines you. They just write tests, a battery of tests, and then write about 100 medicines. It's like a laundry list.